Dude, God roll. Holy fuck! I just... What's up, gamer girls? I've been trying to make some money in Skyblock recently, and money in Skyblock can come in a lot of different ways. You know from the title, I did Kuudra, but the reason I did Kuudra is because, one, I don't want to contribute to inflation. I don't want to be one of those garden Andes who just sits here, watches TV, and farms for 20 hours a day. That ain't me, so that wasn't what I was going to do. And Kuudra makes a lot more money than the garden does if you have a good setup and if you have a good team. So I'm going to go over a little bit about my setup. I'm sure a lot of you have seen Kuudra guides before, but there are some unique things that I'm doing that are new, and I'm going to talk about that. But then we're going to talk about the loot that I got from doing 100 Kuudra runs, because that's what I was tracking in this video. I collected all of my loot. I didn't sell anything. I wanted to sell the stuff so bad, but I held on to it so I could compile it all into one video and show you how good 100 Kuudra runs can be, because I got some great RNG. Alright, time to speed run going over the setup because I really don't want to talk about this for that long. Alright, we're going to be looking at Infernal Aurora. You don't need Infernal. Generally, look for Fiery Plus. You can get away with Burning, but not a lot of groups are going to invite you. So if you're trying to do T5, I like Infernal because you're using Infernal to beat Infernal. But I have really good Aurora. It's mana pool, mana regen. I also have a Spirit Mask so I can survive more. Other things that you're going to need when it comes to armor. Ember Armor, very helpful for getting supplies a bunch of the time because you can use it to drag in the lava and not die from the lava, because that is super annoying whenever that happens. And then you need a set of Terror. Once again, you kind of are looking for Fiery Plus. I have 10-star Burning on one of my pieces, but you want Terror, you want a Precursor Eye, and then you want a Warden Helmet, because you switch between Precursor Eye and Warden Helmet depending on the phase of the fight that you're at whenever you're using your Terror. You're using a Golden Dragon pet. Golden Dragon is super good. Having a second Golden Dragon for leveling while you are getting keys is very helpful. It makes you make a lot more money whenever you're doing your flare farming for getting the nether stars, and you get a bunch of XP and you can make a bunch of money from the Golden Dragon. You don't need the second one, but if you have the money to afford one, you're going to sell it back at some point anyways, so leveling it is pretty helpful. And then you're going to use Terminator, you're going to use Hyperion, you're going to use Gyrokinetic Wand way more than you would expect. This is a phenomenal survivability item when you use the Cells Aligned ability. And then, you know, just standard, you have frickin' Aspect of the Void, you have a Plasma Flux if you can afford that. You need a fishing rod whenever you're fishing up stuff. Kuudra setup is not super complex, but there is one thing that people have learned recently, and that is that Toxic Arrow Poison is very, very, very good when it comes to killing Kuudra super fast in the pre-tier 5 phase, because for some reason it just takes so much damage that you're able to skip shooting the ballista in Infernal. This saves you a lot of time on each of your runs. I was able to do some runs that were like 2 minutes and 15 seconds. It was quite absurd, and I was a big fan of getting those quick runs in because that made me a bunch more money. I believe the 100 runs took me about 6 hours, 5 hours of game time. I wasn't really keeping track of my game time because I was having fun playing Kuudra. I was making a ton of money doing it, but generally you can expect your runs to be around 3.5 minutes, even with a bad party. And you know, the outliers on either direction should balance out to around a 3 to 3.5 minute average of runs if you're with a decent party. So that is pretty much all the info I can give you on my setup. Now let's look at the loot. Alright, let's talk about loot, and I'm going to try and make this as fast as possible, but there's a lot of different loot, so it might be a little long, alright? So first, we're just going to look at the attribute shards that are not as good. These are the attribute shards that you can't imagine you'll be using on any of your armor sets, such as Lifeline, or Undead Resistance, or Blazing Resistance. I'm saving all of these because I'm hoping that they get unsoulbound and put on Bazaar in the future, but if they don't, that's not going to be a huge deal for me, and I'm just not counting these in the profit, a bunch of these shards. Other than that, there are 6 shards that are very, very good, and you want to take a look at every single time. Dominance, which I made 87 million coins from. Mana Regen, 90 million coins. Mana Pool, 74 million coins. Magic Find, I made over 100 million coins from dropping these. Veteran, I made 122 mil, and then Vitality, I did not get much of that, but I did make 24 million coins off of these. The way that you're going to track your attribute prices would be through a Discord bot that is in the Kuudra Gang Discord. This is going to be a great bot where you can do /AP and then type in the name of an attribute, and it's going to tell you the price of that attribute on an armor piece. It'll be like on chest plates, dominance 5 is worth this much, and on a necklace it is worth this much. It is a very helpful thing, and that's how I tracked all of the prices from this. And you can sell all of these for super high because you're dropping tier 5 attributes from Infernal Kuudra, and tier 5 attributes are going to cost way more than doing like T1 attributes. You're going to end up probably getting anywhere from 7 to 10 million coins on just standard armor pieces, and then if you get things on things like necklaces and cloaks, it actually increases in price a lot more because those are harder to come across. But generally, these 6 attributes are what you're looking for. When you're looking at other stuff, the Crimson Armor, Terror Armor, and Aurora Armor, you can pick up even if it has bad attributes, and you can sell this for the price that it is on AH. Like you can see, like 780k lowest bin. It's going to be higher price than if you salvaged it, and it's going to be nice. Aurora Staffs are also super nice because these are like 2.4 million coins, and it's not like insane profit by any means, but it is profit nonetheless. Equipment's always good, just buy it. Hollow and Fervor and Hollow Wand, I would not be recommending this to many people. This is not something you should buy. I'm probably just going to salvage that. I have no profit track to that. And then the books, most of them are pretty good. Strong Mana is the second worst. Hardened Mana is the worst. And then Mana Vampire and Ferocious Mana are great. So if you see these, definitely pick them up. So when you're looking at all of this loot, and you also look at the amount of essence that I got, which was 456 million coins worth, you are going to see that if I'm ignoring RNG carry stuff, I'm going to get 759 million coins profit from just the chests that I showed you right now. But you are going to get RNG. That's just showing you basically what the floor of 100 Kuudra runs is, and that's going to be about 750 million coins profit right now. The ceiling is much higher because you have things like Fatal Tempo that sells for 200 mil. You have Mana Pool Vitality, which is not a great roll, but each of these is probably going to sell for 25 to 30 mil. A Wheel of Fate, that's going to sell for like 29 million coins right now. All of this stuff combined is 300 mil, and it would have been nice if these were Mana Pool Mana Regen Aurora pieces, so it is really good that I also got a Mana Pool Mana Regen Aurora chest plate. 465 million coins from that alone. So combining these, I'm getting like 765 million extra coins, meaning that my profit total 1.52 billion coins, and that is profit. That's minusing the 380 million, meaning that I made about a gazillion coins an hour while I was doing Kuudra, and it's very, very good. So yeah, 1.5 billion coins from 100 runs. Not everyone's going to get RNG like that, but you could get something close. Let me know down below if you are doing Kuudra, how much money you're making, or just let me know how much you're making per hour from whatever money-making method you're doing across the game, because I'm always interested in trying out new stuff. Trying out Kuudra has been super fun, and I'll probably do some more, but who knows, maybe there's another money method that I could do even better with if I get even more RNG carried. That's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.